What an amazing first day of competition here at the Corona Saquarema Pro presented by Banco Do Brasil. It's the Corona Post Show, and waves were awesome. Competition delivered. More importantly, we got people to move through into the second round of the men and the second round of the women. And I'm not the only one that was surprised about a couple of performances today, but we did see some excellent ones. As we do welcome you to the Corona Post Show here in beautiful Saquarema, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I'm Mitchell Salazar, joined with Maida Pops and Marcos Bocaiúva. Maida, we'll start with you. Thing that stood out the most today on day one of competition?
Well, a marathon day here in Saquarema, but there have been a lot of opportunities right there. We saw Cauã Costa surfing pretty well. We're going to talk about this soon. And also the ladies, we have some very nice performances. We just saw Erin Brooks surfing pretty well, ripping, and it was amazing.
Marco, 16 heats, 8 for the men, 8 for the women. Anything that stood out?
Amazing, man. Versatility. If I can resume things today, versatility. Girls and boys got to be able to improvise.
And the waves were on offer, too. And speaking of people that improvised during their heat, Erin Brooks, a big heat win for her in the last of the day. Erin, first of all, big congratulations to yourself. You were able to overcome the challenging conditions out there. Talk to us about your first complete year on the Challenger Series. What's it been like so far for you as a teenager on the CS?
My first year that I'm really putting time into doing competitions, and it's really been fun getting to learn how to surf heats.
And what about traveling worldwide for different parts of the world, Erin? Obviously being in Brazil for your first Challenger Series level ever. It's the first time we're finishing the Challenger Series here in Brazil, too. What's the experience like being in Saquarema?
I love it here in Brazil. I love the waves here. It reminds me a lot of some of the beach breaks in Hawaii. And all of the people are super nice, and the food is so good.
And I bet your parents are watching back home, Erin. Anything you got to say for them?
I want to say hi to my mom. I miss you, and I love you so much. And happy 4th birthday to my little friend Liam.
Appreciate your time, Erin. Congratulations, and best of luck in the rest of the event.
Thank you so much.
So Erin Brooks with a big heat win right there. The final heat of the day, and she comes up clutch, guys. I mean, we talk about big performances, adaptability. She overcame every kind of condition that she saw out there, as well as many different women in the draw too. Laura Hopp, Sofia Medina, they had an incredible heat out there. It wasn't very high scoring, but when we talk about prodigal talents from Brazil coming through the rankings, these are two of them that we're seeing a lot more throughout bigger events and future events that we're probably going to see on the Challenger Series side. It was Laura Hopp who advanced over Sofia Medina, even though Medina moved through in second place. Ariane Ochoa and Thais Almeida, the local surfer, were eventually bowing out as we see the local surfer right there being preparing to move outside. But Laura Hopp, Maida, with the excellent performance earlier today, and she looked comfortable out there in the challenging conditions in Saquarema.
Yeah, she does. She surfs pretty well. She likes to surf like challenging conditions like this. She's always surfing around Maresias, that it's a very heavy wave as well as Saquarema is. And she put on a show right there because she surfed pretty well.
Marcos, she was in control the entire heat, but Sofia Medina was able to make a comeback. She moved through in second place, but it just seemed like the comfort level of having been here a couple of times before and winning at the QS level definitely seemed to add into her fruition during the heat.
She have the IQ from the Medina family. It's on the DNA, so she's proved she have the consistency. And you don't need to win each and every heat. You just need to win the final.
Yeah.
Maybe she can go by the side.
Definitely can, and as we look at the results right there, Ariane Ochoa and Thais Almeida bowing out of the event, so unfortunate results for them. But for the two regular footers out of Brazil, I mean, a huge performance for them, especially for Laura, who's been a staple on the Challenger Series so far this year. Meanwhile, on the men's side, some excellent heats too. But I really want to talk about the first heat that we saw all morning long. Surfer from Haleiwa, Hawaii, Shion Crawford, guns blazing, came out with a statement to make, and he was here in the dark. He was out there practicing, but then the surfer in second, Vitor Ferreira, was able to move through. But it was all Shion Crawford from the beginning of this one, Maida.
Yeah, he surfed pretty well. Look, this nice turn right there, splashing a lot of water, and on this one, again, very strong and at the same time smooth. Very nice surfing from him.
And Shion with a strong heat total, 12.07. He was actually tied with Vitor at the end of the heat, but since Shion had the best score out of the two surfers, Marcos, he was able to take the victory. But if you're Ferreira, you were an alternate on the beach, ready to get into the event. Next thing you know, he's in the next round because of this performance.
Like a UFC situation, you're by the sidelines and, hey, you want to compete right now? You want to join in the competition? And he go there, he make it, the homework. And Shion, amazing. Not so different the Haleiwa toilet bowl. We don't have the reef over here, but the inside over there is like a bulldozer.
Yeah, and a huge performance by him. Moves through with Shion Crawford, knocks out Marlon Harrison and Josh Burke in the very first heat of the last Challenger Series event of the year. Look at the performances, though. Ferreira literally coming off of the beach into a heat, grabs his jersey as an alternate, and surfs in his first ever Challenger Series heat and is able to make it through, knocking out the 19-year-old Harrison and the experienced competitor from Barbados, Josh Burke. So looking at the best wave that we saw all day long, an incredible one. You mentioned Cauã Costa. The kid made it to the round of 16 last year in his first ever CS event. As we're seeing the ski show happening right now, guys, this is some crazy stuff that we're probably going to see, as I think the longest jump recorded in history has been more than 400 feet by one of these gentlemen out there on the skis right now. Marcos, you like sports?
For
this
sure,
is
man.
definitely an action sport right here.
This is dirty bike inside of the water, man. This is amazing. One of those guys have a huge record of 90 feet above the wave. So it's improvising like the surfers, Mitch.
That's for sure.
And who wants to watch this live after here? You can watch on TikTok.
Oh.
Whoa, double flip.
Yeah.
Iago attempt.
We got a wipeout. Seems like he's underwater. He might be cool. Come on, rev that thing, rev that thing. Seems like everything's okay. So speaking of being okay, that was a cool flip right there.
Yeah.
But the Natura Kayak wave of the day goes to Cauã Costa for an 8.0. We mentioned him getting into the round of 16 last year. He drops the highest heat total of the day so far, and here it is, the Natura Kayak wave of the day. Marcos, some impressive stuff from the kid, originally from the northern part of the country, now resides in Rio. Seems comfortable here in Saquarema.
Yeah, original from my mom's place, all the way from northeast of Brazil, Ceará, Cauã Costa. You remember? You answer. You make a question for me. Which one, the surfer from Brazil, that you think the international audience didn't know about so much? I pointed Cauã Costa. It's because of that.
So that is our Natura Kayak wave of the day. Feel the power of freshness. So huge performance for him. The only excellent score that we saw all day long, and the highest heat total, a 14-point heat total for Cauã Costa. And as we have seen before, Saquarema, no stranger to beautiful places. We've seen waterfalls, we've seen different locations for tourism. It seems like a couple of our surfers were able to digest that days before the event started.
Natural beauty of Saquarema as magical, somewhere that you can get lost and really experience the true benefits of nature.
I feel super welcome in Saquarema since I arrived. Like everyone is being super nice, kind to me.
Saquarema's been very welcoming for us surfers abroad. You know, we're checking out some beautiful spots here in Saquarema, and I'm really enjoying my time here. And the waves are pretty fun, the people are really nice, the food's pretty good. So yeah, I love it here.
Foi privilégio, né, receber essa galera aqui na minha cidade, ver que eles estão interessados em conhecer além do campeonato, além das praias, uma cachoeira aqui perto, um lugar diferente, ou a história da igreja, e passando meu conhecimento local é realmente privilégio e uma honra.
It was so incredible to learn about what the city of Saquarema is doing for the kids and to progress their surfing. Facilities are incredible. It's giving many kids like an incredible opportunity.
Thanks to Saquarema. Thank you very much for having us and showing us around.
So that was leading up to the event. A couple of these CS surfers were able to see some of the natural beauties that Saquarema has to offer, rather than just the beaches right here. How's the jet ski moves right here, Maida? Pretty impressed. Don't know if I could do that myself, but you know what I can do is segue into the top 5, because that's my favorite moment of day number 1. And guess who's going to get started off on the top 5 moments of the Corona Saquarema Pro on day number 1. It's Heitor Mueller, the local wild card with a strong showing, 11.4 heat total, Maida.
Yeah, he's from South Brazil, and he served pretty well right in the beginning of the day. As a wild card, look, he threw to the air, and he could manage to stomp it, and another good wave for him right there. Just releasing the tail, surfing so smooth, so relaxed, and very good surfer.
Yeah, and he looked in form, dropped a 6.23 and a 5.17 en route to his victory in the opening round. And then Kira Pinkerton with a huge bounce back, dropped a couple of fours in the last few minutes of the heat. She moved through into the next round, Marcos.
What a grinder. Amazing performance in one of the gnarliest part of the day, consistent-wise. Waves were tough in that time of the heat. So, Kira, amazing. Kudos for you.
And our number 3 performance, one that we've already seen so far today, but had to do it in the first few minutes of the first heat, of the opening round. Vitor Ferreira, he moved through with a huge performance as an alternate, gets to start here, Maida, and is able to move through into round 2.
Yeah, it's so amazing to see these young guys just come and surf well. Surf well, put on a show, and leave this experience on a Challenger Series. It was his first time, so.
Speaking of experience, Marcos, Silvana Lima, the veteran, well represented here in Saquarema, she moves through into the second round of the women.
Surfing with this backhand is not her best thing. She's always going ballistic with the forehand. She's amazing, man. She's an OG. I was a script writer for a documentary about her life, and she's the biggest OG of Brazilian surfing for sure.
At least one of them, that is
one of them.
No doubt. So veteran representation well on in the Corona Saquarema Pro, presented by Banco Do Brasil. And our number 1 performer of day 1 has to be the highest heat total, the highest single wave of the event so far. 8 points for Cauã Costa. He's taken flight in Saquarema, Maida.
Yeah, he threw everything to the air, like every single wave. He was trying to improve his airs. Look how high he went and almost landed on the flat and then finished with this movement. It was pretty amazing to see how he could do this. And this is the second effort for him. Very nice rep right there. Second good one as well. And then through to the air again.
Wow, I mean, the impressive thing about it is that he's still a junior, by the way.
Yeah.
He still has a couple of years left in the junior ranking, so all those kids still have to deal with him for a few years, and then he will eventually make his transition just into the Challenger Series. Couple of great jet ski rides this afternoon here with troubling conditions, and look at the height this guy just got out there in Saquarema at Praia de Itaúna. Well, Maida, Marcos, excellent first day of competition. 8 heats for the men, 8 heats for the women. Why don't we say we meet here at 7:45 tomorrow, see if we get the call on.
Let's do it.
And if we do, we'll see you for day 2 tomorrow. Tune in for the highlights. We'll see you mañana.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.